Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. Fights through and now a crease. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play there on the first play of the game. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check. Go, get out there.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Grant. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down. 180. I'm coming. I'm coming. 87.
Wentz going to throw. This is caught by Jackson. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. That one a first down pickup of 8. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the 44, Wentz. He's got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Hey, here we go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Exit, exit. Watch twist. Watch twist. Slam, slam.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Flush to his right. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gehring. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Grant. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Oh, Prescott stripped.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go, 46, 46. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Switch up, switch up. Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Here we go, 47. Mike 54. Mike 54. I got it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 56.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swain, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Go.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And complete to Zach Ertz. 17 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Wentz to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry comes flying in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one. I'd say it's a pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play here for Dallas.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Right. 54 Mike.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Throwing on second down. Wentz going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Go. Waiting. Right 54. Hey, outside, solid. Forward, Tokyo. Hey, Delta. Let's go, right here. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Mike 5.
Wentz now on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now Pollard looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Looking to throw on second down. Prescott. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
A gain of only a yard. It's fourth down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this throw caught left side. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the third time in 4 NFL seasons. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second and 11 now. Prescott, he's got the connection to Cooper. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
A gain of 5 brings up third and 6.
Here we go. 4-8. Mike 5-4. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 26.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he's got it. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
26.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Break it up. 54 Mike. Kill.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Extra point by Marr, up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. So the big play gets them across midfield now for first and 10. Now Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. On first and 10, it's Sanders. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, there's the option going left. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now Wentz on third down. And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And a kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when I left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. For Zeke, one of first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League.
Switch it, hey. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, go to 54. Go to 54. Line in. 6 seconds. Coming after you. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So don't say nothing.
They go to Elliott again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go, 46.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Chill. Mike 5-4. Mike, chill.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Cooper was the target there. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Wahoo!
Don't be scared.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
Shotgun now for Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
1st down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Watch. You draw focus. Kill. Hey, switch gears.
Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And some room to maneuver. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Take 4.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Jackson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
47.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Off.
Mike, 54. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randall Cobb, 83 yards. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Marr now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation. And now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the 36-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
Another run with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now a carry for Sanders. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
It's going to be a long
87.
It's going to be a long day. Kill. He's coming. We got double up.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 at the 40. Prescott from the gun. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score.
Hey, watch. Here we go, 47. Mike 54. Mike 54. Go.
A first down throw for Prescott. Caught by Cobb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. Intended that time for Cooper. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down. On second down, it's Sanders. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
46 down, man, 5-4. Watch the run.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Wentz. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everyone.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I like basketball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age.